Hey guys, it's Luke Jones from Indie Windows. Today we're going to be taking a look at Eggman Rally, a side-scrolling physics off-road game by Code Cube Brothers Partnership. It has a little bit of a twist than most of these physics buggy type games have, and we'll go ahead and take a look at that right now. So on the main screen you have three options at the bottom. The star will take you to a place where you can review the app. This sort of infinity symbol actually allows you to select your country and change the name that you want to use. Looks like it pulls your gamer tag from Xbox Live. In settings, you basically have two levels options. You can set the level of the music, which you really only hear on these screens, not in the game, and then you have your effects level here. So you can set the level of the sound effects. If you go ahead and hit play, you're taken to the customization screen. Now there's a little pop-up that gives you some hints down at the bottom, and it goes away. But right here, you can select the different options you want for your buggy. So if you want to pick the different body styling, you can pick your style of wheel that you want to use. And then you can set the overall balance of your car. Do you want it to be more forward balanced or just center balanced? These other two are independent of each other, so you have the front and the back. So you can pick your front suspension length. So you can set it. Let's go ahead and make that a little bit. Let's bring it in, make it a little bit shorter, and we'll make this front suspension a little more powerful. So you set your suspension power on that one there, and then you can go ahead and click the rear suspension, and we'll go ahead and leave that how it is, but we'll make it a little bit more, make it less powerful. So I assume that would make it a little bit more springy. And then what you can do, once you have a loadout or a setup that you like, you can go ahead and hit save and save it to one of your empty slots or overwrite one of your pre-existing setups. And you go ahead and hit the play button, and you're taken to the screen where you pick what level you want to play. So there are quite a few different areas or locations that you pick up here, and down at the bottom you pick the stage that you're at that location. It doesn't remember the last one that you played, so you kind of have to remember it yourself. The nice thing is it does show if you have a record for that stage and level, so you'll know if you've played it before. Because if you go to a stage that you haven't played, like this one here, you just get dashes, so you'll know you haven't played that one yet. Over here you have the leaderboard, so it shows the top 10 players. Down underneath your last time, it'll cycle between your record and your ranking, your overall ranking for this stage and area. Or yeah, stage and area. Let's go ahead and hit play, and it basically starts off just like any of these sort of side-scroll physics-based buggy type games, except for one little difference is that you have a passenger in your buggy, and well, I guess he's actually technically like the driver, because if you lose him, you lose control of your buggy and you have to start over. So it adds this little extra challenge to these levels where you have to actually keep the Eggman inside of the buggy while you're going. So you can't just sort of fly through these levels like you would on a normal physics sort of off-road game. You have to take into account that he's basically just sort of bouncing around in there. So you have to use things like brake and throttle to keep him inside of there. I have had occasions where he's popped out and then fallen back into it, like he's left the vehicle completely and fallen back in, and that counts. As long as he doesn't hit the ground, when he lands back in the buggy, you'll still have control. But if he hits the ground and then lands back in the buggy for whatever reason, you will not have control anymore. So right now, I can hit the front button, I'm not going anywhere. Back button, I'm not going anywhere. Once he's gone, you have no more control. When you start a level, there's a timer at the bottom, and that timer doesn't start until after you cross that starting post right there. So you can take a little time if you need to, for whatever reason, to get started. Again, on these levels, all you have are the engine sort of car sound effects and the sound effects of your Eggman. You don't have any music going on, which I think is kind of nice actually, because it gets kind of repetitive. The sound effects actually really help to, when you're airborne, if you're hitting the throttle, you'll notice it's sort of like redlining, and you'll want to back it off, because when you get back on the ground, you're gonna fly out of there and probably lose your Eggman. So anyway, you just go to the different levels, and they gradually get more and more difficult. Some levels I found have they'll be more centered on doing jumps. Some of them are more about going downhill, which you use the brake a lot when you're going downhill. It's a good mix, and I really like how quickly you can reset the game. I mean, if you just go a little ways, you hit the button, and you don't like what you're doing, you just hit the button and it resets really quickly, which is nice, especially if you're just trying to sit down and kill some time and work through some of these levels. If at any time you find that a setup that you're trying to use for a level isn't working, and you want to try one of your other Buggy setups, you can just click the little buggy icon right here at any time and pick one of your other setups. So if we want to switch to number 2, so you don't even have to go out of the level, you can just go through and try out all of your different setups, which is really nice. Instead of having to back out and choose a different one, you can just choose it right there. And it definitely does make a difference, so you definitely have to pick the right buggy for the level. Okay, well, I'm not doing very good trying to play through the screen, but I don't do very good when I'm playing without the screen, so it's not really necessarily all about that. But it's really fun, I really like it, and I definitely recommend it. So for our first game review, it's Eggman Rally, and I definitely suggest you guys go check it out in the Windows Phone store. It's 99 cents, and I will catch you guys later.